All right, all right, all right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, on this midday Wednesday edition of A Different View. Ladies and gents, we are going to hop right in. There is a lot overflowing like normally in the heart and mind of your boy KJ this morning. And we're just going to hop in on the subject. We are beginning the end in many regards on certain things. Not to get too spooky, ladies and gentlemen, but we begin in the end of that, which is the relationship series. We're going to start it. I've been looking for a point to start it, but this is it, y'all. Kind of like you watch movies, you got that good series, and you come to the end. It's going to be a two-parter, just like you see in the movies. Part of this we're going to mix it a little bit today, and the end is going to be this Father's Day. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the parenting thing we got to get down. We got to get it down. We got to get it down pat. We got to get it down way in our soul. It's got to become part of our psyche, because we're hurting our kids, ladies and gentlemen. It's like we tap dance around certain things. I was looking here in the news about these different protests, just things to mention about what's going on in the world. So these different protests, and shout out to these kids. Hey, y'all, again, like I've told y'all in this podcast, I'm for peace all over. So we not, how they say in the street, we're not gonna big up. So big up, BIGUP. Give props to is another way of saying it. We not give some dap. We ain't gonna give some dap to our Israeli brothers and sisters and leave out the Palestinian ones. We're not doing that on this podcast. See, we keep making distinctions based off of something that we believe we've read to tell us who's holy and who's not. And what we haven't done is using the good God-given logic, right? And the sense of, or I don't know, as one of the senses, the sense of sight out of your two eyeballs. And for some of us who need glasses, then it becomes four eyes. To see in true 2020 vision, that is which is our humanity and our human brothers and sisters on this planet. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to stop and drop. Kind of like that TikTok video, stop, drop, and roll, and all us men and women sitting there staring at folks shaking what the good Lord gave them, right? And some of the funnier videos of people that whether folks qualify what is beauty. Again, beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder. But I digress. These protests here, ladies and gentlemen, again, support your youth. Now, to the youth, I must say this. Y'all pay attention to the laws, man, for as much as you have seen now the horror. And Lord, these kids, man, shout out to these children, man. Hey, shout out to the youth one time, y'all. Y'all young and y'all older youth, shout out one time, man. Y'all unafraid of the dark that's there and just letting that bright light shine through. Yes, Lord, yes. Shout out to y'all one time, man. This is, again, for societies to be built and redone and improved upon, and the things necessary in life. We ain't talking no Adolf Hitler. We ain't talking no Constantine, and we ain't talking no Emperor Nero. We ain't talking no Alexander the Great. We ain't talking no Napoleon. We ain't talking no dictator. We ain't talking no pseudo lawmaker. We talking about ladies and gentlemen, men and women who are willing to stand up for justice and truth and say it is so in the middle, like I just finished saying, in the middle of the dark. And you let that light shine through to whatever end. Again, you love this life, you will lose it. You love this life, you will lose it. It's time to band together, ladies and gentlemen. They don't care about you. And we can respectfully do it. We can have respect for this nation. We can have respect for all lands on this planet. And do some necessary healing and repair to what our ancestors, our elders, And even in as much as what we do today to the people, to this planet that has been beautifully and truly wonderfully made. So in talking about parenting there, here's some notes, and we're going to go over about a couple of these verses. And like I said, we'll save the back half, the end here for Father's Day. Yeah. Young people. I know. I see y'all in Colombia. I see y'all on the news in Australia. I see y'all. Okay. Do it right. Do it legal. Don't let them hem you up. Study these laws, man. You lawyers, you need to start getting involved. I was just looking at a thing here. This is a call to action, not the type of garbage they talking about January 6th. We ain't talking about that, y'all. Let them see us do it different. I was just looking on the news. May 13th, take it all the way back to 1985. Lord bless the dead, man, that have lost their life in innocent, sick, greedy violence. This is where the violence come out, y'all. You want to talk about violence? You want to talk about those who support violence and promote violence? Here you go. The Move bombing in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, May 13th, 1985. I was 5 years old back then, just had turned 5. How in the world, where terrorists, y'all labeled a Black Power movement. Same thing you did with the Black Panthers. I'm done. Y'all are okay building up every government and every law and doing everything and will ignore the truth. Speaking in ambiguous and equivocal language to hide your sins. You killed innocent people and stole their land. Your ancestors did it and y'all support it today. We have to speak the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And you had them dear people. How so wrong you were that when they won the lawsuit, talking about this legal part, y'all, after you killed people and kids and made people homeless, you worried about the homeless. Y'all tired of seeing people homeless on the streets. How many times I got to hear uppity people? There ain't no other way of saying it. And y'all stuck in your pride and in your piousness. You have no compassion for the weak. The Bible talking about some Bible verse we're going to get into with parenting. Jesus looked out upon the people and was moved with compassion. Where is the compassion in humanity? Where did it go? Stir up that which is, no, y'all want to talk to me about context. Christians sitting here doing this pious mess like you've been doing since before Jesus left this planet. You sit there in your piosity, thinking how holy you are, and we have not come that far. And it's time for the Pauls in the Bible. It's time for the Daniels. It's time for the Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Where are my rebels at? See, again, this thing got to mean something enough to you to cause you to be moved with compassion when you look at people. You killed all those innocent people. The police department. You bombed those people. The police department. But see, it's no different whether you're talking the police or the military. It's all the same. Subdivisions, y'all. But nobody's looking at it that way. Again, blinded by the same greed of which your master makes you go to work and slave away every day and destroy your family in the process. While you sitting there talking about how important hard work is. Yeah, it is. But it's not at your exploitation. I know people don't want to look at it that way because we suffer from serious levels of DID. You got whole other realities you've made here. We need to wash and renew our minds with the word of truth that is you supposed to be free and free indeed. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. This is what. So let's just go. So we've already gone over train the child in the way they should go. Okay. I'm sorry I get passionate on the thing, y'all, but this is where it's at. This is where it's at. It's not cool anymore. Right? It ain't cool anymore. It wasn't cool for me to find out talking about more stuff about my native brothers and sisters. Y'all be careful allowing that which is the byproduct of racism to enter into your heart. Have respect for our Mexican. Have respect for people across this planet, y'all. And more specifically, those who have been held down in this planet. Say their names proudly. When they talk about this thing, when black people get shot and all that kind of thing, say their names, say them out loud. Again, do this in remembrance of me. And if you did this to the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you've done it also to me. We got to stir up that compassion and love this in us, y'all. This is the salvation. This is where it's at, man. You got these televangelists and everybody, and that's not talking against talking the word of truth across this nation and planet. I'm saying you're sitting there using it like you did to build these lands improperly and on an unholy surface of the highest regard. It's time to redeem the time, y'all. So again, let's go through some notes and some verses, and then we're going to go about our way, because we ain't here to hold you long, but we're here to talk to you. That's what this is, man. All right, so life. Life is lived. Let's read some notes here. The notes is back, ladies and gentlemen, for this one. So life is lived by / through thoughts. Again, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. I know this isn't the Sunday message, but there's certain things to bring to remembrance. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, you got to realize certain things about life, y'all. When you're looking at people doing some foul, funky stuff out there, when they misuse their family, when they misuse their coworkers, when all this kind of stuff happens, yeah, it's the people doing it. But look behind the scenes, look a little closer. See, it's in the mindset of people. You've been poisoned in your mind. Let's look up that word poison here for a minute while we just got some time here with y'all, because again, this is about education. And we're not talking about Poison the rock band, you know, shout out to the hair bands of the 1980s, right? And I know for my Christian folks, you know, see, again, our answer was Petra, and nothing against Petra, right? Petra was a cool, Petra was a cool Christian rock band, man, but we're talking about Poison. We're also not talking about, yeah, shout out Belle Viv DeVoe. We're not talking about Poison. That girl is, we ain't talking about that kind of poison, y'all. We're talking about a substance that is capable of causing the illness or death of a living organism when introduced or absorbed. A substance that reduces the activity of a catalyst. See, we just finished talking about the thing. Now, a catalyst is something that causes something, right? What will cause you to get moved with compassion? That which reduces that activation of that part that makes you love and move to help someone. You got to remove that mess from out of your mind, ladies and gentlemen. You got to remove that. Again, life is lived in thoughts. Be mindful of what you think on. So again, the things that go, the Bible talks a lot about this subject, about the things that you think on. Think on the things that are true and just. And when you stop right there talking about what's true and just, if you ain't dealing with the racism that has affected these lands, y'all, and the sexism, you talking about holding down women, you know that mess is wrong in your Bible when you read the women ought to be quiet. Come on now. Yet. See, now, and I know I got my I got my church father people on here to listen to this. I got my folks on here. I understand, y'all, where you're coming from, but you gotta look a little further. Have a different view on this. If the rock's gonna cry out, then what you think the women gonna do? Oh, y'all ain't got it yet, man. Y'all ain't got it yet, man. No, if out the mouth of babes and you got animals talking and all this, but no, the women got to be quiet, y'all. As they say, devil is a liar, man. Yeah. Oh, wow. Be mindful what you think on. What you think on is what you will eventually do sooner or later. Okay? This is inevitable stuff, man. You think wrong about food, you think bad about yourself, you're going to do some very horrible things to yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Just to see, a lot of this also has to do with self-worth. They did that on purpose, though. They knocked down your self-worth. They chipped away at that thing like you chip away at the bricks of a house till they all fall. Ain't no blowing the house down on some Three Pigs story, man. We talking about chisel with the hammer, mallet, whatever you got, and just ding, 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 ding. That's what's been happening over time, little by little. It don't happen right away, y'all. And that's the way you got to rebuild it, little by little. Parents are the guardians of their children. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all got to get it in your mind. I know, right? Listen, excuse me. If you got guardians of the galaxy, what you think you are over your kids, man? No. See, we parents, KJ, man. No, make the right distinctions, man. No. Come on. No. If y'all hear Snoopy, we'll let Snoopy play in the background a little bit. Little ding, ding, ding. Yeah, Snoopy, man. Kill some noise for a little bit. I know they tell you dead air is no good on a podcast. See, again, we like to buck the system, ladies and gentlemen. We like to buck the system over here, man. This is not, again, if you're doing something sideways here, we're going to call you out on it here because it's not cool. Folks know me on the street. They know me everywhere I go. We ain't about doing the status quo. It's not working. Y'all working every day to fingers to the bone. You ain't got no money to show for it. You ain't got no money to show for it. That is unless you put it in certain savings and stocks and bonds, which is what you got to do with your money, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the ways they have given you what they have left for you to be able to make money. You got to do it. Now, we understand the entry-level amounts and numbers is rough. Okay? But at the end of the day here, you got to put your money in the places to make it grow because, again, you working on these, you're going to slave away to nothing, man. That's not cool. And make sure you have wills, trust, all that we're talking about parenting now. Set up your kids, man. Life insurance. When you gone, you don't want them going through this life like you went through it. You want them going better. So yeah, you're the guardian of your children. You don't own your kids. Oh, Lord, help me say it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all own your kids, man. I don't know how else to tell y'all, but you don't own your kids. You don't own your wife. You don't own your husband. Y'all share this life together. And the quicker we understand that, the stress you will take off yourself will be so immense. And your life will be full and free of purpose. That's a real thing, man. I know. Instead, parents are solely the guardian / let's just look up the word guardian for a minute because I feel it's necessary. See, again, we're talking words and phrases, y'all. I'm doing in real time what I do on a daily basis because I am done listening to the mess. Folks worried about when Jesus coming back. They worried about what the stock market look like. Y'all are, again, there are certain things that you must let go and grab a hold of certain things to make your thinking anew. This is part of the renewing of the mind. And it is in thoughts and words and phrases that form thoughts by which you find this truth. So here's guardian's definition: a defender, a protector, a keeper. Again, whoa, ooh, what's that word? Keeper? Use a key. Wait, I got babies and I'm a keeper? What did the Bible tell you way back in Genesis that humans are supposed to do on this planet? We read it on this podcast. What's the purpose of humanity? To dress and keep this planet. Yeah, I know. The original context says the garden. Yeah, oh man, yeah. And you know, while I do this, maybe, Lord, maybe this will help wake up some people in the mind. This ain't to make fun of y'all for how you think. Just look at another view, y'all. Look at another view. The way I think on things ain't the only way. Open your mind up to that which is the whole knowledge given and put down here by God alone that you can never grasp in the amount of time that you have so far. There's something else, huh? Anyway, you are a keeper of your kids. A keeper. Not to keep them unto yourself, but to help preserve them so life can continue in their own life. Lord, man. Anyway. Not only just a guardian, but also a launch pad by which children lift off and can land back on. Y'all lives have to be, say, talk about pastors and folks, leaders in the church have to be without reproach. Your life has to be such a thing that when life rocks your kids, when they on flying on their own, because it happened to us all, they can come back to you for refuge, man. Where are the places of refuge in this life, man? When you got war and stuff like that going on, reread accounts of different wars, man, places that they could go that were holding houses, refuges. When you had the Holocaust where Jews could hide, that was an illegal thing. They'd kill folks for hiding people from improper execution. Could you imagine that kind of world, y'all? See, this is the real world y'all live in. You need people to tell you about the real world you live in, where the police are okay bombing your neighborhood, where they will make a case to tell you you are a terrorist group. And I know I got my folks out there listening on this that will sit there and take the time to tell me why that was necessary. But I bet you what, if it was so necessary, the city of Philadelphia would have never granted those people. You had one person, we're talking documented stuff now. $12 million went to one group, and I'm sure I got my detractors out there why they shouldn't have got that money. It's a shame. It's a shame. But anyway, and also, money that was just restituted to that community in general. So let's continue. Yeah, your kids got to land back on during the flights of life. Just like a helicopter. You go around town, you're doing your thing, you see your sights. Whoop, I got to land, I got to regas up. Hey mama, hey daddy, how you doing? This is not, see, they pumped in your mind a different thing. Family is power, y'all. You stop doing the division. Start realizing they have turned business into a deadly competition. And as a result, until some of that stuff changes, y'all are the defense. Y'all are the protectors. Y'all are the keepers of your family. Never mind. People gonna get it one day. The streets are always looking to kill your kids, rob your marriage, rob your mind. So you have to get to a certain level here. And the streets is a pseudo thing anyway, because y'all sitting there in this gang-filled environment, all that's there is death. So by the point that you've gotten to the point where you sign off on that kind of thing, yeah, again, we're talking about renewing the mind. Anyway, let's move on. What do you let's see, what's this one? What you do to those considered least, we just went over that, least in life matters. So again, you do this to the least of these, you've done it to me. Y'all got so much belief and you got crosses all over your walls. This is not to make fun of what you believe in, but it is to challenge what you believe in. If you truly believe, it's time to start being good to people. And that starts with the ones right in your four walls of your house. Before you even go to work, it's time to get nicer. Not even just the love part, man, because that builds over time. We're talking about just from the fact of what is in a person to do right by folks. Time to get nicer to you. I understand. I see. As soon as I'm saying it, I already know y'all got a laundry list. Y'all got a laundry list, and I mean maybe not laundry list, like Santa's list. Yeah, we'll do that one, right? Since we talked about Christmas just a few months ago, right? A long Santa's list log, man, of the stuff people doing to you, why you can't do good to them. I'm telling y'all, you're supposed to protect yourself. Clearly, defense is a thing. They try to hide it under talking about violence. No, defense is a thing. But how you do it is necessary. It's a serious, necessary topic to talk about. And what you do to the least of these, it matters. Those are the important ones, y'all. I know society got you thinking they're not. Those are the important ones, y'all. Especially if you believe in the Bible at all, they definitely the important ones to the Creator. Let's add in a verse, Psalms 127. Literally, Psalms 127. As we continue on the road here of just having a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, people, they put these things in the mind. And again, we are reading. We're reading from the King James Version. Okay, well, Psalms 127, real short. For folks who like real short things, here we go. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. I'll read on, man. That's a powerful thing right there. Anyway, except the Lord keep the city, the watchman walketh but in vain. It's vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for he giveth his beloved sleep. So it's talking about you doing stuff in your own power. For everybody who likes getting up early in the morning, doing things, when you're not doing it with any purpose, y'all, you might as well not be doing it. Verse 3, lo, children are a heritage from the Lord, an inheritance. Heritage, your ancestry is an inheritance. This is why it's sad what racism does, man, because it's robbing you of your, never mind. A heritage from the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Verse 4 is arrows are in the mighty hand of a man, so are the children of the youth. They're your arrows. And no different we've been doing with the gun, man. We've been shooting our kids at the wrong thing. You teaching your kids that intercultural marriage is wrong. You teaching your kids to have hate in your heart to other peoples of this planet on some pseudo garbage that came from racism way back from, again, our ancestors, okay, is wrong. You are shooting them at the wrong target. And it's something that's given to you clearly from God. This is what it's talking about. This is again, talking the idea that's in this verse. We're talking about something blessed from God, a heritage from the Lord. We just read it in the 3rd verse. Happy is the man that, now again, man, see, transpose that for people, right? Happy are the parents. Happy is the parents that have their quiver full of kids. Now, that don't mean you have 15 of them, but where they're, hello? Because again, you got to split yourself off 15 different ways. Happy trails to you, ladies and gentlemen. To rob a phrase from my plains and western and midwestern, some of the south, a little bit of the west, brothers and sisters, some of them mountains up in the east coast and whatnot. Happy trails to you. If you try to do that, man. Again, Cheaper by the Dozen is a cool movie, but hey, and it's a real life thing that happens. And you talk to them parents, man, if they're going to tell you the real, anyway, it's, again, we front too much. They shall not, I'm not saying that there isn't some joy, okay, and some pleasure in your kids. That's not what we're going here, okay? They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. Again, another one of these ideas, y'all, where you can get so good at this that the enemies ain't a problem. Man, the kids are your arrows. Where you shooting them? What target is you shooting them at? Let's see where we at here. 27 minutes. All right. So before we, before we, those last 4 there. Now let's do this, and then we'll do this verse, and then we'll go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a couple. So we'll end with a topic and a verse, and then we'll go on about our way and enjoy life and all it has to bring here for us this midweek. The thought, the thought that when you're 18, 21, as soon as you hit that age, you're on your own. Okay. So this is the thought that came to me here. The thought that when you're 18, 21, you're on your own is another fallacy of life. While in one respect it teaches you the lessons of survival, and that's normally the hard way, by the way. That's not that. Listen, you kicking the kid out at 18, 21, yeah, you teach them the hard way, and I get it, because some of that came from your parents, and normally comes from some of the parents where their kids gave them a little bit of guff and they was just tired of dealing with them. But again, in the mind, y'all, you got to understand, you're the guardian and protector, both good and bad. Now, to the children, don't put your parents in a spot where they get tired of you. That's a real thing. But at the same time, parents, you're the guardian and the keeper of this thing. You got to be prepared for every eventuality. Hey, don't get mad at me on that one. This is the truth of it. It's the same thing with husbands and wives, man. You got to be prepared for every eventuality. You don't know when somebody going to go sideways. You don't know what a person going to go through. Again, when we're talking about menopause, see, you meet in that one. See, but nobody talks to the young people like this. The whole spectrum of a thing. And then as they're going through things, people kind of BS them, just to say it very bluntly. They give them a whole lot of mess instead of telling them the truth, ladies and gentlemen. This is just real life here, okay? This is just real life. Okay? It's time we stop doing that. Again, it is not helping. People need real answers from folks. You older people, see, again, one of these things that came from the Willie Lynch letter that everybody says isn't a real thing, yet you can see the mentality of it clear as day in folks. So somebody is not telling the truth here, but I digress. If you got the battle between the older and young there, which is also proven out in the Bible that you will have the old versus the young, father versus the son, what do you think that means? Okay. Then at the end, we're talking about Bible verses to talk about the... Never mind. Never mind. What I got the computer here for if I'm not going to use it, right? Oh, man. Yo. Oh, man. We are not talking, guys, out the butthole, okay? This is not... These are hard truths, though, that everybody skirt over, because you don't hear this mess on Sunday. You don't hear it Monday, Tuesday. You don't. Oh, Lord, help me say a thing. Let me just scroll down here, man. That's going to be a good one. In Luke 12, what a powerful chapter, number one. Number two, this idea of not worrying about what you need in life, man. Y'all want to read verses and just soak your mind on the thought about not worrying about a thing, man. Y'all read Luke chapter 12, man, like the middle of that chapter. Oh boy, let's see if we can find it here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to read some stuff on purpose here because folks have an issue. This is Jesus talking about you not, and just again, for y'all who do this revelation thing, for y'all who are stuck there, you're just stuck there. Yo, I got to re-reference. See, we're talking about context of the Bible now. Forget chapter and verses, man. We're talking whole book context, right? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yo. Gosh, I hope the Cowboys do better this year. Anyway, but ye therefore ready also. This is following. I'm on verse 40. This is a long chapter. We just read a short one. This is a long one. But ye therefore, Jesus is talking about what's coming and how you don't know. That again, we'd already talked about before the 40th verse, not only that part of it, but talking about not worrying about your life, so on and so forth. Okay. But be ready. That's what be ye therefore ready also. Be ready, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when you think not. Still doubling down on this idea you don't know, y'all. What? Never mind. Then Peter said unto him, Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us or to everybody? It says even to all, again, even to everybody. The Lord said, who then that is faithful and wise steward? I got to stop there for about 2 seconds. People don't realize, you keep thinking this is an ownership thing, and you just came to you, not from you, came to you, right? Yeah, you had something to do with putting the sperm and egg and made in the womb and birthed out the woman, but came to you. Again, heritage from the Lord, right? We got our mindset the wrong way here. You're a steward. I digress. I'm not even going to look up the word right now, steward. That's some homework for y'all. Look up what that word means. When his Lord shall make ruler over his household to give them portion of meat in due season. Because again, Jesus asking question, who then is that faithful and wise steward? See, the parable, this is how Jesus talks, man. You got to catch up a little bit. He's saying that this thing is to those who are the faithful and wise stewards. Blessed is that servant, verse 43, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find doing so. We got to get on our game, y'all. Y'all worried about the end times and all that thing? Go read some of this stuff before Jesus left the planet. Just to keep you, again, you don't know, but what you need to be doing. See, again, you don't know, but what you need to be doing. What we need to be doing is being better to each other. We don't need to be bombing. We don't need to be killing. Never mind. And that also happens not just in that physical form. We're talking about how you bomb and tear down people's personalities and good reputations. Again, the Bible talks about how a good name is highly rated. I'm just paraphrasing. You tearing down people's good name in the house, tearing down people's good name in the home. Stop doing that mess. Tearing down people's good name in somebody else's house, tearing down somebody's good name and reputation on the job, at the supermarket. We need to stop. Never mind. Never mind. Of a truth I say unto you that he will, the Lord, will make him ruler over all the Lord has. Again, we still don't understand. We thinking it's ours. You don't own nothing. You're the steward of. You're in charge of. You're in lieu to someone else, as they say in legal terms. All right, get all the way down to what I was talking about with this father versus son thing. For henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided. This is talking about how this breakdown occurs, y'all. 3 against 2, 2 against 3. This thing looks like a WWE match, and that's what you got in your households, y'all. See, again, this is stuff to watch out for. The father shall be divided against the son. You know, in verse 50, because this is another one where people go a little wild here. Suppose ye that I have come to give peace on earth, I tell you no, rather division. What Jesus is telling you is that this thing is not this hunky-dory silver and gold, you know, to rob a phrase from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Burl Ives is singing that song, Silver and Gold, in that show. This is not silver and gold that we just looking at out here, y'all. But people got their eyes on that silver and gold for sure. They're willing to kill you over it. Again, the defense of that is realizing that there are certain levels of divisions here. You need to recognize what they are so that you can bring peace. See, again, Jesus is saying that here's the peace. The peace comes through showing division. I know it's going to take y'all a little bit to get that. But again, you need to recognize where the faults are in order to prepare a plan for survival when these faults show up. Kind of like robbing a thought from the San Andreas faults in the different places where there are earthquakes on this planet. You got to study that stuff and to be able to make a plan so that you can survive if and when those things occur. That's why I'm saying we got to mobilize, y'all. If you know they out here not wanting to pay you. Just heard a thing this morning from the Oklahoma news. Talking about raising hotel taxes. Now I know we see again, we got these people, they have bought this thing hook, line, and sinker. Guess when the public vote is to vote on the house taxes, y'all? August 27th. Guess who publicly will really not be at that thing? August 27th, because guys, it's not about taking more money from us. And you know what they said they're going to use it for? Tourism. Not to build up the hotels, not to give you more amenities, for tourism. What do you mean? What does that even mean? So you got to challenge the words and phrases they're saying. Make them tell you right out in front what you mean anyway. And this is the same thing in the home. Clear, open, honest, respectful conversation. This is how you deal with every problem. Whether in the home or outside of it. The father shall be divided against the son. That's where I'm getting it from, y'all. Older and younger, y'all stop it. They put that there for you to continue to fight so that you never learn one from the other. Because again, the next part of the verse says the father against the son. Then it goes on mother against daughter, daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. Hey, y'all, just because they left the father-in-law and son-in-law out don't mean that's not there either. Put the 2 and 2 together, y'all. This thing is an attack on the family. If we're the guardians and the defenders, parents, then that's what you got to guard. Never mind. See, again, a lot of people sometimes will take this as an attack. This isn't an attack, y'all. This is a warning. This is a warning. And whether it takes sitting in the therapy chair, just yourself, not even saying bring your family along, just you. You got to get you right so that you can help somebody else. The point is to help somebody else on this planet. Where are my good Samaritans at? Again, I re-reference, there's people bleeding and dying in the street, y'all. Very close to us, and some not. We got to get okay getting our hands dirty. Those men and women in that town in Philadelphia were okay getting their hands dirty. And this is the mess that awaits your kids. They know what life is because you teach them about loving the home. Then they go out in this world and they see it and they calling it out. That's not the time to back down. That's just time to stand next to them. That ain't the time to sit there and tell them, it ain't going to do no good. This life is already blah, 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 blah. That's not keeping a thing. That's not being a steward over something. While in one respect that teaches folks the hard way, it's not the only way to teach that lesson. Keep your kids close to your house, y'all. Keep your kids close to you. Yeah, they're supposed to live on your own. I referenced that whole geese thing. And yeah, there's a point where they fly out on their own. But there's a point where you got to stay close to them. Those that mean to take them, hurt them, and kill them. Old and young. Because see, this thing come back the other way too. You know, kids. Yeah. Because that's the balance. Kids understand. It comes back the other way too. You got to look out for older people. They're here as a guide. They paid the price to help you. They paid the price to help you. There's a price to pay, unfortunately, in this life. And when they're doing it right, they paid a high price to bring knowledge, to bring truth. You know, since we're still in May, and May the 4th just passed, and your boy's a Star Wars geek, nerd, whatever you want to call me, which I could care less. George Lucas's birthday was yesterday. Shout out one time to George Lucas, right? This man that put this beautiful story out here about life, battle, redemption, fighting for true truth and justice against tyranny and an empire. We can do it, ladies and gentlemen. Hey. We can do it, ladies and gentlemen. Truly, as the song says, ain't no stopping us now. Ain't no stopping us now, yo. So, that is what I got for y'all today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for walking this road here with me. Again, like I said, Father's Day, we will end the relationship series. This is part 1 here. And we're going to end because there's a certain word here that's got to be said to the men. There's a certain thing that must be said to the men. So thank you very much, y'all, for walking this road with me. Again, to my almost 400 strong, man. That's a proud moment. That's a proud moment. The word of truth, getting it out there for people to learn and be set free. Yeah, it's a great thing, man. So it's good to see. Again, if you have comments, you have concerns, let's bring them to the table. We can do it respectfully. And we just go about our day, man. I hope y'all have a powerful day today. Getting closer to the weekend. We at the midway point, y'all, to another time where we can rest. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, look to find the beauty in a different view.